Subscribe to Gizmo Times and get notified about our latest videos by hitting the bell icon.
Hey guys, welcome to Gizmo Times. So this is Chetan and this is the comparison of the three smartphones that could be one of the best right now, apart from the Redmi Note 5 Pro, which is going to be a separate comparison anyway. So the phones here are the Honor 8X, the Motorola One Power and the Nokia 6.1 Plus, all in the mid-range pricing category where you see a lot of demand, lot of users who always ask which phone is the one to go for. So this one comes with that EMUI, while these two are a part of the Android One program. So these comes with the stock Android. But let's compare these phones in every aspect. To begin with the design and the display itself, this Honor 8X comes with that glass back. This time it isn't the metal back that was on the Honor 7X, but you can see that this comes with that beautiful design, a reflective design as well, and it has that kind of a differentiating line that would give it a different look totally, and the AI camera part on the back. While on the front this comes with the largest of the three, the 6.5-inch display that comes with the 19.5:9 aspect ratio, and also this has the highest screen to body ratio of 84.4%. And the resolution here is 2340 x 1080 pixels. On the other side, the Motorola One Power comes with a 6.2-inch display with the 2246 x 1080 pixels of screen resolution, and it's 18.7:9 aspect ratio for the display on the Moto One Power. And the next one is the Nokia 6.1 Plus, which is actually the most comfortable for me, if you ask, because of that size. Very easy to hold, though it comes with a 5.8-inch display, and that is with the 2280 x 1080 pixels of screen resolution, and it's a 19:9 aspect ratio. All the three have a notch, but you can clearly see that this one takes up the least space because of that compact area, having all the three things, that's the sensor, the earpiece grill, as well as the front-facing camera. While the notch on the Moto One Power is quite wide, it houses an LED flash, so it takes up that extra space. Towards the bottom, the chin is actually narrowest on the Honor 8X, while it's wider on these two phones, though it's the widest on the Nokia 6.1 Plus. So even though the phone is smaller, there is some area wasted towards the bottom of the device. Now again, continuing with the design, we had talked about the 8X already, where you see that this has a unique and very good design. Even the Nokia 6.1 Plus has that reflective black design, a black glass. This is the glass body, and since it's always comfortable anyway, it also looks very good and premium. On the other side, the metal is never something that you can complain about. It's always a good design when it has a metal body, and the Moto One Power gets that sturdiness because of that metal back. So this was all about the design of the phone, and you can also see that the fingerprint sensor is present on the back of the phones, and all the three phones, they seem good enough with the design. There's nothing where you can say that one is better than the other, though my personal preference would be the Honor 8X with that differentiating kind of design. Again, with the size, I would say that the Nokia is the one that I would easily choose because of that very comfortable design with that 5.8-inch display size, which should be good enough for the regular usage. Next is about the power that these phones get. The Kirin 710 chipset from the Huawei Nova 3i is the one that is going to power this phone, and it is marginally better than the Snapdragon 636 that is powering these two phones. The Qualcomm Snapdragon 636 is an octa-core chipset that comes with a 14nm process, but the Kirin 710 comes with that 12nm process, and it comes with the maximum clock speed of 2.2 GHz on its first 4 cores. So the speed is better on this one. And for the variants, again, this is the only phone that is going to get a 128GB storage option with 6GB of RAM, while these two phones come with that 4GB and 64GB option, and there's nothing that would give you 128GB storage. Again, to add to that, even though there's nothing that you can do with the storage, the microSD card slot is present on all the three, though it's dedicated on these two phones. On the Nokia 6.1 Plus, it's a hybrid SIM slot. You don't get a dedicated slot, while on these two phones you get that dedicated card slot. And a good thing for the 8X is that previously the Honor phones did not have that dedicated slot, but now finally you can have the microSD card slot and two SIM cards separately inserted in this phone. The Moto One Power, it continues with the Moto's or the Lenovo's phones, where you get a dedicated card slot and you don't have to worry about that dual SIM or the storage, whichever to remove or have them. So you have the dedicated slot on the Moto One Power. Next is with the optics. The cameras are one of those important aspects in this price range, actually, where you see there's a dual lens camera combination on the back of all the three phones here. The 8X comes with that 20 megapixel plus 2 megapixel cameras on the back, where the 20MP one actually has the f1.8 aperture, and the 2MP camera is there for the depth sensing. On the second one, that's the Moto One Power, There's a 16 megapixel f1.8 camera, again the same size, the aperture size when you compare that to the Honor 8X, but then the sensor size is actually smaller. That's a 16 MP compared to the 20 MP one, but the depth sensor camera here is a 5 MP one with the f2.2 aperture. The third one, that's the Nokia 6.1 Plus, comes with a 16 megapixel f2.0 camera, so it won't be able to take the same amount of light that these two would take. Still, the secondary camera here is again a 5 MP one with the f2.4 aperture. For the video recording, that is where I would say that these two are an edge ahead because of the 4K video recording that's possible on the Moto One Power as well as on the Nokia 6.1 Plus, while the 8X can capture only 1080p videos, but the advantage that it holds is that it comes with a 60 FPS speed for the 1080p videos, which is not possible on these two phones. For the front-facing cameras, these three phones come with quite a good front-facing camera. I would say that again with the selfies, it's always that personal preference where you seem to like the selfies on one of those phones and you don't on the other one. But here, I would say that the options given for the selfies are better on the Honor 8X, and it comes with that 16 megapixel AI camera with the f2.0 aperture, and this Moto One Power comes with that 12 megapixel f2.0 aperture camera, but it comes with a dedicated LED flashlight which is not present on the Honor 8X or on the Nokia 6.1 Plus, and even the Nokia 6.1 Plus comes with a 16 megapixel f2.0 camera. So these two phones, the Honor 8X and the Nokia 6.1 Plus, have a 16 MP selfie shooter, while the Moto One Power comes with that 12 megapixel selfie shooter. With the camera quality, the final quality, we would not be able to judge that quickly. The Honor 8X is still new and we haven't used it along these two phones, so we'll be taking many more camera samples before letting you know the final thoughts in the separate camera comparison. With the OS, that is an interesting area where there are users who would sometimes like the skins used, sometimes the custom UI that is given, but many also prefer the Android one or the stock Android, that is the basic Android that is given on these two phones, while this one comes with the EMUI 8.2 based on Android 8.1 Oreo. So the Android version right now is the same on all the three, but thanks to the Android One family that these two are a part of, I feel that the updates might be faster on these two phones when compared to the Honor 8X. But that is the point where we always talk about the custom interfaces don't need to always get those updates unless it's a major update or a security update. If the security updates are coming on time, it's all good. And the features, actually I would say that the features that are given on the Honor 8X are much more than what you see on these two phones. So that is where these two would lag behind because of the fact that you don't get many of those features which are present on this phone. But if you're someone for whom timely updates are important, I would trust Nokia over the other two, because Motorola has been a little slower on the update part. And that is where I would say that the Nokia 6.1 Plus will get, and it actually is getting updates faster than any phones or any brands right now in the market. Now towards the bottom of the phone, these are the things that you get. The micro USB port on the Honor 8X, while it's the USB Type-C 1.0 on the Moto One Power as well as on the Nokia 6.1 Plus. And for the speaker grill, it's present on the bottom for all the three phones. The headphone jack is present towards the bottom on the Honor 8X, while towards the top the headphone jack is placed on the other two phones, and there's a secondary microphone for all the three devices. The fingerprint sensor is present on the back. But one disappointing thing about these two phones compared to the Honor 8X is that they don't have a face unlock. There's a trusted face feature which is not fully face unlock that you would like to use. It's a trusted face which is present as a part of the Android itself. So that is not proper face unlock, and so there is no face unlock on either the Nokia 6.1 Plus or the Moto One Power, but there's a proper face unlock given on the Honor 8X. And when it comes to connectivity, the Kirin 710 here is the Kirin 710 on the Honor 8X actually supports the dual VoLTE, but it doesn't seem to have the dual band Wi-Fi which is present on these two phones. And there's Bluetooth 5.0 on the Moto One Power as well as on the Nokia 6.1 Plus, but it's Bluetooth 4.2 on the Honor 8X. And one feature that I personally like on the EMUI phones or the Honor or Huawei phones is the Wi-Fi bridge feature which is present under the Wi-Fi settings. And this is something I actually really like, Wi-Fi bridge, because this feature is where you can share the Wi-Fi network with other devices and you don't need the data network. If you have a running Wi-Fi and it cannot give the connection to more devices around, or if you are in a hotel where you have limited number of devices connected, you can use the Wi-Fi bridge and enhance the number of devices connected to it. So that is one feature which is present only on the Huawei or the Honor devices, and I always am a fan of that feature. And lastly, it's about the battery, where the Moto One Power is exceptionally better than the other two, which is a known fact because of the fact that it comes with a 5000 mAh battery, and it's not just the capacity. Stock Android is well optimized, and the Snapdragon 636 also is well optimized to work to give a better battery life. And so the Moto One Power has a 5000 mAh battery which can last over the other two for a longer time. And this one is the next one, the Honor 8X, that comes with a 3750 mAh battery, which also does well to last over a day. And the Nokia 6.1 Plus has that little disadvantage when compared to the other two phones. This has a 3060 mAh battery, so 3000 mAh battery is not so good when you compare to these two phones. But again, we talk about the charging here. The charging is the fastest on the Nokia 6.1 Plus, which comes with the support for the Quick Charge 3.0. And when compared to that, this has the 15 watt charging support, and the Honor 8X has a 10 watt charging support. So this was the battery and charging on these three phones, and this was the comparison between the Honor 8X, the Moto One Power, and the Nokia 6.1 Plus. So I hope you got a clarity on all of the aspects of these three phones. And about the pricing, you'll know the pricing in the description below, and they all come in the same price range with only a little difference between each other. But if you ask about which one is the final choice, it again depends on what you want. If you want a good camera setup, I would again go with the Honor 8X. With a better design, it is the Honor 8X again. And with the performance as well, there's no difference really, though I would say that the Honor 8X again is an edge better. But the battery life is where clearly the Moto One Power is going to hit the other two. And if you want a device with a stock Android, you could choose one of these two. And if the design and even the size of the phone is important, the Nokia 6.1 Plus, it should be the winner here. So this was the comparison between the three phones. If you have any other doubts, do let me know, and subscribe to Gizmo Times for more. Thank you for watching, and see you in our next video.